A reading from the letter of James, chapter 3, Uncontrolled Language. Not many of you, my brothers and sisters, should become teachers, bearing in mind that we shall receive a stricter judgment, for we all stumble in many ways. Someone who does not stumble in speech is perfect, able to keep the whole body on a tight rein too. Once we put a bit in the horse's mouth to make it do what we want, we can guide the whole animal. Or look at ships. No matter how big they are and driven by adverse winds, they are directed by a tiny rudder, wherever the whim of the helmsman decides. So the tongue is only a tiny part of the body, but its boasts are great. Think how small a flame can set fire to a huge forest. The tongue is a flame too. The tongue is placed among our members as a world of wickedness. It infects the whole body, itself catching fire from hell. It sets fire to the cycle of nature. Every species of wild animals and birds, reptiles, and sea creatures is tamed and has been tamed by the human species. But the tongue, no human being can tame. It is a constantly shifting evil, full of death-dealing poison. With it, we bless the Lord and Father, but with it, we also curse people who are made in God's image. From the same mouth come curse and blessing. My brothers and sisters, this ought not to be the case. Does any spring yield from the same channel sweet and bitter water? Can a fig tree yield olives, or a grapevine figs? No more can salt water yield fresh water. Real wisdom and its opposite. Who among you is wise and understanding? Such a person should, from a good life, give evidence of deeds done in the gentleness of wisdom. But if at heart you have bitter jealousy and rivalry, do not be boastful and false to the truth. This is not the wisdom that comes from above, but earthly, human, and devilish. Wherever there is jealousy and rivalry, there is also disharmony and wickedness of every kind. Whereas the wisdom that comes from above is first pure, then peaceable, kindly and considerate, full of mercy and good fruits, free from partiality and hypocrisy. The fruit of righteousness is sown in peace by those who make peace. The word of the Lord. A reading from the letter of James, chapter 4. Where do these wars and battles between yourselves come from? Is it not from the desires fighting inside your own selves? You want something and you do not have it, so you commit murder. You set your mind on something and cannot get it, so you fight and make war. You do not have because you do not ask. You ask and do not receive because you ask wrongly to spend it on your pleasures. Adulterers, do you not realize that friendship with the world is hatred for God? Therefore, anyone who chooses the world for a friend is made an enemy of God. Do you suppose that it was pointless for the scripture to say, "With jealousy, he longs for the Spirit he sent to dwell in us"? But he has given us a greater grace. As scripture says, God opposes the proud, but he gives grace to the humble. Submit to God then. Resist the devil, and he will run away from you. Draw near to God, and God will draw near to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your minds, you waverers. Lament, mourn, and weep. Your laughter must be turned to mourning, your joy to dejection. Humble yourselves before the Lord, and he will lift you up. Brothers and sisters, do not slander one another. Anyone who slanders or judges a brother or sister is speaking against the law and condemning the law. But if you condemn the law, you have ceased to practice it and have become a judge over it. There is only one lawgiver and judge, and he has the power to save or to destroy. Who are you to judge your neighbor? A warning for boastful merchants and rich farmers. Well, now, you who say, "Today or tomorrow we are off to this or that town. We are going to spend a year there, trading and making money." You never know what tomorrow will be and what your life will be. You are no more than a mist that appears for a while and then disappears. Instead, you should say, "If the Lord wills, we shall be alive and will do this or that." But as it is, you boast in your arrogance. Boasting of this kind is always wrong. Anyone who knows what is the right thing to do and does not do it is at fault. The word of the Lord.